professor, due to his old age, was not able to make it, and many of the seniors that wanted to come were not able to make it. So I would, on behalf of Peter Agyemang, as a pastor, as his pastor, I would like to give a eulogy. He came into our church about 4 years ago, and I remember we had a bazaar sale, and he was just shopping around, looking around, and most people, they come and go, but he kept looking and looking, but he wasn't buying anything. We thought something was weird, and then he said, "Oh, I have no money." And he picked out all these clothes, and he said, "Can someone take me to the bank?" And we thought, okay, something. But then I drove him to the bank, and he went to the ATM, and he took out about $200. He bought over 3-4 bags of clothes that day, and then he said, "Oh, I can't bring all this on the bus." So then I drove him all the way to Irvington, to his home. And that's when I first saw his home. And then I had to bring large, about 4 or 5 bags up to his room, about 2-story. And then slowly we started to get to know each other. He started coming out to our church. And I realized, then he told me why he was getting all this, so that he can send all these goods to Ghana. And then he told me about how he has a village and family, and every year he's able to try to get as much goods to all the little children, to all the family, and to the neighbors, to the village. So he went there, and so then he's like, "I need help getting into a crate and cart." So we got some people, and we went to help him, literally put it into a crate and then send it over. And then after a couple of years, he continued coming to our church, and not one time did he miss. He was coming all the way from Irvington. He would come by bus, or sometimes we would give him a ride, but never fail. He would always come. And I don't want to make this too long, but and then we had a mission trip coming up, and he's like, "I'm signing up." And usually, for those who are going on mission trips, they would pay for their own plane fare. But then he's saying, I don't have the money, but God will provide. And lo and behold, it came out from somewhere. And he was able to go on 2 mission trips to Guatemala and then to Ghana. I went with him. And again, all I can remember is, every strength, every bit in his heart, he was always trying to do one more and more and more. I remember one last thing was the building that you see across, it's vacant. And he keeps saying, "I'm going to buy that building for this church." There's 3, and it's like connected, all 3, 4 buildings. And he said, "I am going to do it somehow." And when you're with him, he makes you a believer, even a pastor. He makes you, he makes, amazing, promises, and, amazing things he makes will happen through God. When God, when all things are possible. And so he would make these promises, and also he wanted to bring people from Ghana and raise them and bring them up and put them in this shelter so that he can give them the right and proper education. So I feel that he went so quickly, and but he will be forever in our hearts. And and what he lived for, what he dreamed for, I believe that it will eventually come to fruit. Come to fruit. You know, every day, even the bus driver, he would sit next to and talk to them about God, about Christ. And then the next person he would meet. And then all these happenings, and then he would come on Sunday, and then he would tell me every single one. And there wouldn't be sometimes enough time. Sometimes, you know, everyone would leave and there's and he's got to catch his bus, but he's like, I still got more to tell you, more to tell. And there would never be an end. But right now, his family in Ghana are watching live, and it's 12 o'clock midnight right now. But still, they've all been asking me to send them the link so they can watch, because, you know, when I went to Ghana, there's so many people that, some of his friends in villages that still, you know, look up to him as like a big father, you know, as a big dad. And so we will remember him and know that he will continue to be